Good morning. This is Alexis Parker sitting in with Giovanni Gallucci and Chloe Dawn, and this is the Daily Trend Report.
Morning, Alexis.
Morning, both. Alexis, you already look like you walked the dog and won the day.
Ruby had me up at 6, and the coffee did the rest. Every cup feels like a conversation with the day.
Some mornings, that's the whole job. What have we got?
Today, what Google just handed the small operator. Then, clean label food and beverage. And we close on content creation tactics. Let's go. So on July 7th, Google shipped something in Search Console called Platform Properties. You connect an Instagram, a TikTok, an X, or a YouTube account, and you see clicks, impressions, and the actual searches driving people to your posts. And you don't need a website. Clark's report had it first. Travis and Eddie both flagged it too. Gio, how big is this really?
Bigger than it sounds, and I don't say that about most platform news. For years, the measurement game had a fence around it. Big brands had websites, analytics stacks, SEO people who could tell you which Google searches pulled someone toward their content. Everybody else posted into the fog. Google just cut a window in that fence, and it's free.
The no website part is the piece I keep circling.
It's the piece that matters. A one-person food brand who spent 3 years building a following and 0 years building a website now gets Google-grade search data on their own work. The search terms are right there. That's not a vanity number, that's a content brief written by your own audience.
Give me a concrete one.
Sure, a regional coffee roaster connects and finds that cold brew concentrate near me is quietly driving people to one specific reel they barely thought about. That's gold. Now they know to make 3 more on that exact phrase, put it in the caption, say it out loud in the first line, and ride demand they can finally see instead of guessing at.
Okay, but is the data any good yet, or is this 2 weeks of thin numbers?
Fair, and that's the trap. It rolls out slow and the early data is sparse. Don't burn down a working content plan over a fortnight of noise. Connect it, baseline it, watch it. The job right now isn't to react, it's to listen.
Give me the operator read. What does a small brand actually do with a query report?
Treat it like an editorial calendar you didn't have to guess at. If people are landing on your TikTok through a search you never targeted, you now know exactly what to make next. And watch which single posts punch above their weight in search, because Google Discovery behaves different than the feed. A reel that looked average in the app might be your best search performer, and that tells you what has legs past the 48-hour cycle.
It flips the strategist pitch, too.
It does. If you sell social, you've now got a Google-owned scoreboard tying organic content to real search demand. That beats a screenshot of an engagement rate every day of the week. One caution, though. This is Google opening a window on Google's terms, and windows close. Same week this dropped, a coalition of state attorneys general was chasing Meta for penalties that ran into the trillions. Platforms give, platforms take, platforms get sued. Use the tool, keep owning your list.
Okay, give me the 3 before we move on.
1. The day access reaches your account, connect all 4 platforms, pull the query report, and make your next 3 posts about the searches already finding you, not the ones you wish were finding you. 2. Find your one post that overperforms in Google Discover and rebuild it into a small series on that same topic. So the thing search already likes gets a second and a third at bat. 3. If you pitch social strategy, screenshot that Google scoreboard and post it as your proof. Let the search data be the flex a prospect can't argue with.
Mine's a psychographic, and it's the one clean label was basically built for. New Consumer ran a mid-year report, 3,000 plus people, and about a third of Americans now say they're in optimization mode. They want max health and max pleasure at the same time. No trade-off. Kendall's report pulled it. Eddie's ran it as story of the day.
Feels obvious once you say it, but the number underneath is the real story.
Say the number.
When they were forced to choose, 62% picked feeling 25% healthier right now over living 25% longer. That's the whole ballgame. The old health pitch sold you longevity, some payoff in a fog 40 years out. These buyers want to feel good today. Energy, digestion, mood, this afternoon.
And it skews young and it skews spendy. 43% of Gen Z and millennials call themselves optimizers, Way up from Gen X and older.
which is exactly the buyer an independent clean label brand can actually win. Here's what the big food companies keep getting wrong about this crowd. They run the deprivation playbook: less fat, less sugar, less joy, and a label that reads like an apology. This buyer is done with the apology. They want the pleasure and the clean deck both, and they'll pay a premium for it.
So how does a small brand say that without sounding like every wellness account out there?
You flip the order. Sell the pleasure first. Lead with how good it tastes and how good it makes them feel today, and let the clean ingredient list be the reassurance at the end, not the pitch. A giant reformulates and slaps a "no artificial anything" badge on the front. That's theater. An independent that's been making the real thing all along gets to just be the real thing, out loud.
What does Pleasure First actually look like in a post?
Take a high-protein dessert brand. The old way opens with the macros: 20 grams of protein, 0 sugar, like a spec sheet. The optimizer version opens on the spoon pull, the melt, somebody's face, and the macros show up at the end as the reason you don't have to feel bad about the second one. Same product, opposite order, and the second one gets saved and sent.
There's a risk in it though, right?
There is, and it's overclaiming. There's already an over-optimization backlash forming. Don't turn a soda into a medical device. Say it makes you feel good, not that it cures anything. The brands that overreach here are handing the skeptics the exact stick they're looking for.
Okay, 3 things I can take into a caption today.
1. Recut your next product video so the first 3 seconds are pure pleasure. The pour, the crunch, the face. Sell the crave. Put the ingredient deck at the end as reassurance, never the hook. 2. Kill the deprivation language in your captions. Cut every guilt-free and no bad stuff line and replace it with what the thing actually delivers today. The energy, the mood, the afternoon it fixes. 3. Post one honest, "here's how it feels in the next hour" piece, real and specific, no cure claims. So you own the feel it now angle before a giant reformulates its way into it. 2 brands this week did the same quiet thing, and it's the tactic I'd steal before anything else on the list. Kohl's built Nike tunnel walk installations inside its stores for back to school, set pieces designed as a photo moment. And Buzzballs, launching a flavor, gave away orange faux suede Western chaps with matching boxers. A prize so absurd it's engineered to get screenshotted.
Those feel like opposite ends of the taste spectrum.
They are, and they're the exact same move. Both brands built a thing whose only job is to make the customer do the posting. The installation and the ridiculous chaps aren't the ad. They're the reason somebody else makes the ad, for free, and their followers trust it more than anything the brand could have cut itself.
So the product isn't the content. The prop is.
The prop is the content. That's the shift. Most brands spend the whole budget on a polished spot nobody shares, when they could spend a fraction building one weird, specific, on-theme object or moment people can't help but point a camera at. A generic gift card gets you nothing. Orange cowboy chaps get you a comment section full of people tagging a friend.
Where do people get this wrong, though? I've seen the sad version of this.
You've seen the flop, and here's what it is. The brand builds the set piece and then makes it about themselves. Logo huge, brand name across the middle, everything centered on the company instead of the person standing in it. Nobody shares an ad they're standing inside of. The Kohl's thing works because the customer is the hero of the shot and the swoosh is just the backdrop. Make your audience look good and they'll carry your brand for miles. Make it about your logo and it dies on the shelf.
Why do people trust the customer's version more?
Because it costs the brand control, and everybody can feel that. When the customer frames the shot, picks the moment, adds their own dumb caption, it reads as real because it is. A brand can buy reach. It can't buy somebody's own followers deciding the thing was worth posting. That decision is the endorsement, and it's the one thing money can't fake.
It scales down too, right? You don't need a store build-out.
That's the part I want the small operator to hear. This isn't a big budget play. A neighborhood coffee shop can build one absurd photogenic drink, or one corner of the room that begs for a photo. Scale of the idea matters way more than scale of the spend. Weird and specific beats big and generic every time.
Give the coffee shop a specific one.
Fine. One wall, painted a color nobody else in town has, with a little hand-lettered line that changes every week. That's it. People will stand in front of it, photograph their cup against it, and tag the shop without being asked. You built a backdrop, And the whole neighborhood turned into your content team for the price of a gallon of paint.
And limited helps.
Limited helps a lot. Make the object a drop, a small run, a collectible, and you stack urgency on top of shareability. Now people post it because they got one, and you might not.
Land the 3 for us.
1. Before your next launch, build one deliberately screenshotable object or corner, weird, specific, on theme, and design it so the customer is the hero of the shot and your logo is just the backdrop. 2. Audit your last 5 posts and kill any set piece centered on your own logo. Rebuild it so the person standing in it looks good, because that's the version that actually gets shared. 3. Make the shareable thing a limited drop. A small run with an end date turns nice photo into I got one and you didn't, and that urgency is what tips a post into a share. That's the show. Everything you heard today, the trends, the read, the moves, that's the work I do for brands every day. GallucciNet builds the content stack, the short-form video, the carousels, the articles that make a small brand impossible to scroll past. If you want the operator who can see the signal and turn it into content that ships, that's me. Find me at gallucci.net or DM at galluccinet on Instagram or LinkedIn. Talk tomorrow.